You are listening to Season 2 of The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, the short and often daily podcast in which I chronicle my life and attempt to be a writer by writing daily. Sometimes. Hello, today is Monday the 31st of March 2025 and you're listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, and I'm a little bit confused because I'm at work and I'm trying to get from one place to another, and they've managed to shut down a corridor that I always use to get from the canteen to our crew report centre. So I'm literally having to kind of work out where on earth I'm going. So basically I'm having to go down to the arrivals level and across and back up, which is fine. I mean, I know where I'm going, but it's just... yeah, I mean, that corridor was a massive waste of space, so it kind of makes sense that they're finally doing something with it. But yes, it means I'm having to think now, which I don't really want to have to do. But yeah, so I'm at work. I did a there and back flight yesterday to Faro in Portugal, and then I stayed in a hotel overnight because I didn't have to spend loads of hours in the car, and I slept, had to check out by midday, and I don't start work for a few hours. So I've just gone to the canteen and had a really nice, healthy salad. I'm trying to work out where I'm going now, hang on. Navigate my way around this place. Oh yeah, through here. Just had a really healthy salad, and now what I'm going to do, because I'm not due to start work for a few hours, so we have places where you can rest and sleep, basically. So to make sure I'm fit for my shift tonight, I'm going to go and have a doze for a few hours. Now, I could end up, I'm on standby, and I've had a look at a list of where I could go, and there's lots of places I could go. So there's a couple of destinations in South Africa I could go, which I wouldn't mind going there. I haven't been to Cape Town in 6 years. It was before the pandemic, and the last time I went I was on a 747, and given that those all retired in 2020, yeah, quite a surprise that it's been that long. But it's a lovely destination. There's places in, I think I could go to a couple of destinations. Oh, excuse me, that's noisy, isn't it? Yep. So yeah, I could, there's loads of other places, loads of European destinations I could do. There's some India. So yeah, we shall see. So I haven't done any writing since I spoke to you last. To be fair, what I probably should have done was acknowledged that I was going to get no work done and maybe not done a podcast today, but as I said, I'm really keen to give myself every opportunity to hit 300 for the first anniversary of the podcast, sort of towards the end of next month. So yes, you get to pick up with me waffling on about nothing in particular for 6 minutes just to make the numbers, but never mind. Right, where am I now? So okay, if I keep going this way, sorry, I look a bit odd recording this as I walk around, but I don't really care, and I'm going to have to move the phone away from my mouth. Oh, it's an automatic door. I thought I was going to have to move the phone away from my mouth to open a door, but I didn't. So yeah, so loads of destinations I could do. Haven't done any writing. My original plan for today was maybe to have a couple of hours doing a bit of writing, but I didn't sleep particularly brilliantly last night, and there is like a bunk room at our crew report centre where I could literally get a few more hours sleep. I haven't got my uniform on at the moment. I've got it with me obviously, but I'm not wearing it because I figure I could do a 12-hour flight from standby tonight. So you know, I don't be wearing the uniform for nearly 24 hours by the time I get to the other end. So I need to double check. There always used to be an iron up in our crew report centre so you could iron stuff. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and make sure that there is an iron available still so I can iron my shirt for the flight, and then I'm going to go and I won't iron the shirt now. I shall make sure it's there and working, and then yeah, I think I'm going to find somewhere to doze for a few hours. I'll set my alarm for an hour before I'm due to start. I will check in an hour before I'm due to start. You have to be really careful checking in. If I checked into the building now, they would probably not let me fly on certain flights because they would have deemed I've been at work too long, but actually I'm not working, I'm going to sleep in the meantime. So, but yeah, some of the rules are quite funny. So I was looking at some of the flights I've got to do, and starting at the time I do, I'm only allowed to do 11 hours flying, which in theory would knock out certain routes like Cape Town and Johannesburg, but the reality is you're allowed, if you have horizontal rest, they're allowed to extend that flight period. So if I do something like a Cape Town, we will definitely get a couple of hours, maybe more, in the bunks, and that will extend my shift, my duty length by a certain amount of time to make it legal for me to do that flight. So looking at it, I don't think there's any long haul flights that depart this evening that I'm limited in terms of hours. There's a couple that I'm limited in terms of aeroplane. So I can't go to Singapore because it's on the A380 and I am not trained on that aircraft. I can't go to Singapore, do the Singapore-Sydney run, because although it's on an aircraft that I'm trained on, it's a 9-day trip away and I am only available for 5 days. So I can't do those two, but pretty much everything else that's due to depart, after 1 hour 20 after I report, I can technically do. So I literally have no idea where I'm going to go. I would be surprised if I wasn't used at all. But if I'm not used at all, because it's a possibility, although I suspect quite an unlikely one, I will then drive home and I'll be on home standby tomorrow, and I'll do home standby from home because they have to give me 2.5 hours notice for the flight, and I can easily get into work within 2.5 hours of a phone call, and they normally give you more than the minimum anyway. Anyway, that'll do me for today. I managed to eke that out for 6 minutes. I will talk to you tomorrow from somewhere. Take care. Bye-bye.
You have been listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer. For more information about what I'm writing, go to linktr.ee/Richard Writes, capital R, capital W, where you can find details of my website and social media. I may see you there.